you on this frosty, frigid Wednesday night, man?
Yeah, I don't think we know whether the fall and winter's going to hit, or I think we're supposed to be back to spring soon. So,
Yeah, this weekend
but
with tournament back and forth, huh?
yeah, definitely. But I'm excited
Man,
for tonight. We had a great one tonight. I'm really excited to get it going.
yeah, there's a man. There's this thing as we started the show and we approach the 1 year mark next week. The love for the show in Wichita is crazy as it's kind of gone
Yeah,
worldwide. I told you I was looking at kind of going into another direction as we're always trying to find new
yeah,
inspiration, new role models, and all that. And I said, man, let's start looking into some local heroes in the running circuit, right? Like
yeah,
marathoners and all
yeah.
that. And then I started digging more and more, and I got tired just reading about some of these ultra marathoners, you know. And there's a lady that's a local hero kind of hear her name, you hear Iron Will, you hear Injured Beast, and at the
Yep,
top of that list, over and over again, every single time, it kept coming back to Adele Jordan. Which once you
yep.
hear her story, you'll know why, man. But it just finished her 10th ultra marathon, Dane.
Whew,
10. Can
man.
you imagine?
I love
Yeah. Well, oh goodness,
Oh, oh,
11. I'm so
11.
sorry, 11. So
that.
Dane, this running family, just like softball, I'm learning everyone's kind of got something they belong to. So
Yeah.
I don't want to waste any time, man. I want to get into it because I'm jazzed for it. I just did my jazzercise. So let's bring on the one and only Adele Jordan. Adele, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, I am good. I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
My
thank you
bad.
for
I
giving
thought
us
I
the
heard
time.
11. I heard it in my head, or was that you talking, or was that my conscience? 11 ultra marathons, Adele. Is that right? You just said.
1100s.
Oh
Oh,
Um,
11
goodness. Okay.
hundreds. Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah. 11. My fault. That's right. I know you corrected me on that, and it's very clear. It is a hundo, not a
yeah,
ultra. So I got it. My
Yeah.
bad. So
so
well,
in total, I don't know how many ultras I've done together. So 50Ks, 50 milers are ultras, and so I've done a lot of those. Got
Mhm.
my some of my 50 milers back here, but I just did my 11th 100 miler October 7th in Chicago. It was really fun.
wow,
Oh,
that is
wow.
insane.
No,
Wow. As you said off there, maybe a little addicted, maybe just a little bit.
maybe a
So
little
cool.
bit.
I love
Yeah.
the feeling, like, gosh, I even was bit more raw this time. I recorded a lot this time during this 100
Mhm.
mile 88. I had a meltdown and I just started recording myself, and wow, it was really cool to see because you run throughout the night and you're
Mhm.
just so tired, and then you know the hallucinations are there, and you're just when the sun comes up, like you just want to be done. And but
Yeah.
those yeah, I recorded mile 88. It's been fun to
Well,
watch.
I remember my first 100 miler, Adele. We had a 100 miler when I broke down Oklahoma City at a concert. I'm just kidding. I had to walk 100 miles. I'm kidding. No, so Adele, over the course of the years that we've been doing this, the Spotify and different things, we've got some questions we've kind of cultivated for you. So I'm going to dive into it. Now it's like whether it's your sport of running or someone who's maybe been a football player, basketball, or cheerleader. We always remember kind of our first game or moments like that, right? Now,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I remember my first mile. Dane helped me get into running because Dane's a runner as
Yep.
well. I remember my first mile, and it was a pace. It was 15 minutes and 5 seconds. I'll never forget my first mile. There's got to be like that was my first question I wanted to ask you. What do you remember your first mile that you ever ran? Maybe in a competitive genre, if you will. You know.
Mm.
Man, I think I did the river run when I was super young. I've been running for a while. My mom was a runner, and so she would always sign us up for little 5Ks. I was pretty
Mm.
young doing, yeah, but I don't
Okay.
remember my.
Okay.
Um, yeah, the first mile is definitely hard getting out the door and getting that started,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you
Mm.
guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's one of those things where, we're both starting to do it again, run again, and it just like you say, getting off the couch and pushing yourself out there. That's the biggest thing is once you're out there, you get into it and you start to enjoy it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe then this transition before Dane takes two. So, okay, maybe
Yep.
not the first mile, but do you remember your first event, like your first? Well, let's go beyond a 5K. Your first marathon. Do you remember what that was like as your first marathon?
Yes, it was the Marine Corps Marathon, and it was my first marathon in Washington, D.C., which is super cool because there's just a ton of Marines everywhere. And then you see the soldiers doing push-ups at every mile. So
Wow.
patriotic, so big. I mean, it's like 30,000 people.
Mm.
It's
Wow.
that was, yeah, that's an unforgettable marathon. The ultras, they're not as big, but the Marine Corps Marathon is, I've never done the New York City Marathon. I think that's what I want to do later, but that's also a big one. But yes, that was my first, was the Marine Corps Marathon. My first ultra was, it was Psycho Wyco 50K in Kansas City in 2013. So that was my first ultra. I started doing that because I didn't get accepted to the New York City Marathon. And I was like, oh, I was so mad. I was like, oh, goodness, what am I going to do now? I'm like, well, how about I just start running over 26.2 miles? And that's just when I started. I was addicted. Because I'm like, I can stay. Like, it was nice. That's a really hard one. So yeah, 50K was my first.
Wow. Wow. That makes that 10K we did yesterday seem a little sparse, doesn't it?
Pedestrian.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, a little pedestrian.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
Awesome, though. Seriously. Good job, you guys.
Thank you.
So
Appreciate that.
with all the events that you've done, from the times you did, your mom signed you up for the 5Ks and the little trots and things like that, to the 100-milers. Can you kind of remember maybe one or two that are your favorites that really stick out in the forefront of your mind?
Yeah, I feel like I really like the Heartland one, and that's out in Cassidy, Kansas, in the Flint Hills. It's just really hard. I mean, because the aid stations are like 10 miles apart, and you're out there all alone. It is just you in the Flint Hills, and it's like the challenge. It's a hard one, and then the buckle that they give out is even beautiful. This is the one. Oh my gosh! See, for marathons, they give out medals, but for hundreds or ultras, they give out buckles.
I like that.
That's a lot. This is really cool.
That's cool.
Oh,
Wow.
So yeah,
so you got,
I think
that's crazy. Okay, yeah, out in the middle of just you and your thoughts and the wilderness, huh, so to speak. So.
Yes, and then the hallucination kick in, and you're just like, it's not real. Like, I saw a big white airplane in the field, and I'm like, okay, I know that's not real. Like,
wow.
You just smile and you just keep going.
So breaking that down for those that, because we've looked at that quite a bit in a day's time, because that's you're running through the night, so you're probably I would love to see if there was a way to track how many calories in one day that you're burning through a situation like that. It's crazy. So
it's like 16,000.
Wow.
And
Dang,
it's so fun. Replacing the calories after 100 was so fun. You just eat and eat. It's the greatest. And then I have a restaurant, and so I'm just like there all the time eating.
Well, I didn't do the whole marathon thing, Adele, but I just prepped. I had some Krispy Kreme, so I'm pretty much prepped for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm kidding. So just kidding. So that's really cool. Thinking about the ones that you've done, right, and all the stuff, influence wise, right? Because I remember to this day, I had, you get your running circuit, your running crew, your friends. It's a pack, right? Is there a couple people that are still kind of your biggest influences on you as a runner these days?
Mainly my mom.
Okay.
Done 13 marathons, and just seeing I'm very much like her. So definitely been my inspiration to this day. And like currently, like like an elite ultra runner, I have a girl crush on Courtney Dahlwalter. Oh my gosh, she just a lot this year. She just won a 200 miles. So 200 milers and 240 milers are popular right now. Hundreds aren't that popular anymore. There's 200s and then there's 240s, and she just like won that too. So yeah, she's someone that I just like starstruck.
Yeah.
But her and my mom, mostly my mom.
Well, Dave, should we tell her? We've actually been working on getting Courtney on the show, so we'll have to make sure if that happens. Yeah. So we've been talking to her, so we'll keep in the loop if that happens. We'll let you come back and help us guest host that one. Okay. So.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, she's really cool. She's really business. It's all business. It's like, hey, quick, she's real quick about it. So when that happens, we'll let you know. Make sure to bring it back. So awesome. Well, yeah, I saw that one a little bit. I could see that reference. Very, very motivated and determined and all that. So yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Whenever you're, kind of, I guess there's really no off season whenever the running is going, and there's just a little bit of recovery and things like that. Now, as we're coming into the rest of the 2023 year, and going into 2024, what's kind of on the horizon for you as far as running and races and maybe promotions and things like that for you?
I don't know. I'm not a very good planner. With I live by Sedgwick County Park, so I run all the time. So I think it took like a week off after my last 100 and just get back to, but I want to keep that base just in case I want to do another 100. I don't have anything planned for this year, but I still kind of want to do that. And there's a couple hundreds that I want to do next year. Tunnel Hill, that's in Illinois in November. And that's the only one I got my eye on. I go for what the buckles look like.
Okay.
There you go.
Go for the style, right? The fashion.
Yeah.
I love it. So.
Like one, this was a cool one. This was my first one that I did having MS. This buckle is so cool, isn't it?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool. Wow. That's awesome.
I flew to the airport to leave. They had a problem with this. And I did 100 and they did not me. And I promise it's not a real gun. Oh, that was scary.
That's a cool buckle there. What was that race? Which one was that?
This was Pistol. This was last year in Tennessee.
Okay.
Really, really fun race. Yeah, that was a special one because that had been my first one after taking 4 years off. So when I got diagnosed 4 years ago, my came to a halting stop. And so this was my first one after being diagnosed. So this one was a special one. Yeah. And
Adele, we wanted to make sure, out of respect for you, didn't want to go into it until you had opened up that dialogue with us. And again, I keep it PG with this show, but you're an amazing inspiration. What I always say is when I hear about stories like yourself, sorry guys, but nobody has an excuse. If you're able to do that and overcome. So I don't know, maybe if you feel comfortable talking through with us what that was like for you and how you got your mind wrapped around continuing to race,
Yeah.
Getting emotional.
I really do think that, and I truly believe that God let me do all these hundreds to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because these races, I mean, you're in a lot of pain and you have to push through the pain and you have to just take it hour by hour. And I really do think that's why I'm able to, deal with the day-to-day pain that I have with MS. And haven't felt my hands in 4 years. My legs are weak and achy, and I have a horrible heat intolerance. I mean, it is just I'm still adjusting to it because there's just symptoms left and right. And sometimes my messes up, and some days I don't even get out of bed. But the days that I do get out of bed, they're good. I'm going for a run. So it's it's scary and it's fun because I never know if I should be pushing my body this hard, but I'm like, hey, if I'm still able to run, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah, it's so inspiring, Adele. I mean, there's nothing like it when we hear people say, and again, I was getting a little bit more brutal, Dane, as we talked about prepping for this episode. The days of saying, "Oh man, I got a bad back" or whatnot. No, that's okay. You can get out of bed and you can do it, and you're a living testimony, Adele. I feel like what you're doing is you're giving people inspiration, a walking inspiration, literally. When I see you,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That helps. There's someone's always watching, but it's hard, but I still love it no matter what, as long as I can keep doing it.
Wow. I think Adele, we kind of give this, we've had a couple of whether it's boxers or different things on. And one thing, again, I'd expand on this and I'll kind of move on to a little segment, Dane. You have dealt with life very well. So no wonder that running isn't hard for you because you're dealing with things that you're overcoming well. Running must at some point come easy with what you've overcame, So congrats and mad kudos to you, Adele, for being a warrior, literally a warrior. So love it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Means a lot. Dane, Dan, do you want to add on to that, Dane, before I move forward?
I mean, I was just going to kind of echo what you were saying. I mean, overcoming things that, others probably couldn't or wouldn't. I mean, to do something that you love, I mean, whether it's, playing in any different sport, you're just happen to be, running through the night and 24 hours plus. I mean, there's no limit to what you can do when you have the right mindset and you're driven to do it. I mean, you're living proof of that, even with something that's that you're going through, that you persevere through it. I mean, there's no bigger inspiration as far as I can see than that. So we love to hear your story, and that's why we just had to have you on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Although I did one race that was my bucket list race, and I wanted to do it, and I was qualified for it, and this was going to be the one. But that's when I got diagnosed. Badwater 135. That's out in the. So with the heat intolerance, like my hands get really bad. So I'm like, I don't even know if that's in my reach anymore. But that's been like, that was one dream that I had to let go. But it's every once in a while it creeps up on me. I'm like, well, can I now? But that's I don't know if you've ever heard of Badwater 135. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a fun one. I was out there. I crewed and paced my friend Tony Clark, and it was quite the experience. But it's hot. It's hot.
I think the definition, as we're getting back into it, your definition of fun might be a little different than mine right now.
Yeah.
Say that, well, I get it. No, but we'll get there. But no, maybe that's on the bucket list for you. There's still to come, Adele. Maybe as medicine advances and things like that, that might be something here.
Absolutely.
In the next year or two that you scratch off your list. So.
Yay, hope so.
Love it. Well, there's a segment I will, again, Dane, I have to stay on track for this because while I'm with you, I teared up a little bit. As we were kind of prepping for this week and all that and all this, and we've done probably 200 episodes, and I don't think there's ever been one that's been quite so the story everyone can relate to. It's a local hero, like I told you. We always make it a point once a month to give back to someone locally, even though it's a worldwide thing. On top of that, your story is so just wow. That's all I can say. So I'm going to take a moment. Yes, I'm going to move forward into a little segment that Dane and I do. We're going to have some fun. Now, maybe since you know the owner of Connie's, maybe we could throw a bet with Connie's in here. I'm kidding. So here's the thing. We have a little thing, Adele, we do called Rapid Fire. And this is the only part I won't prep you for. Okay. So interviews or press or things you've done, I promise you've never had a segment quite like this. Now, maybe you could put it in word for us that you know the owners of Connie's. Maybe we could throw a little gift card. Just kidding. But what this is, Dane and I bet on what we think you're going to say. And the winner of me and Dane gets lunch. We're betting on you, provided by the loser. Okay. So now let me preface. There's no wrong answer. These are 5 questions. You got to speak from the heart. Imagine you can go back in time, past or present. There's no, the metaverse is possible. It's about to get weird. Okay. So.
Well, all right. I'll try to keep it rated then.
Oh, you're good. No, it's all good. So Dane, you ready? You got your picks? Dane already has the answers to what we think you're going to say. Okay. So Adele, first question, your next race, we're going to go ahead and say, you're going to go ahead and do Badwater. We're going to put it down. We're going to prophesy it. So you get there and they say, hey, we're going to kind of give you a walking theme song. What I mean by this is they're going to hook a Bluetooth to your fanny pack and say for the entire race, one of these 2 singers are going to run beside you and sing this song for you the entire race, these singers. Okay. So you can either start the race and have the legendary, I think it's Bette Midler, forgive me, Wind Beneath My Wings. So run behind you and sing Wind Beneath My Wings the whole time you're doing the race. Or you can have behind you running the legendary Kenny Loggins singing Footloose behind you the entire time you're racing. Wind Beneath My Wings, Footloose, which one are you going with?
Footloose.
Let's go. Let's Footloose, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Did you have that one, Dave?
Oh yeah. That's it.
I like that.
Yeah, pretty good, huh? Yeah. So he's gonna follow behind you and just sing Footloose in like some type of like portable system while you're running. Okay. So we'll make it happen. Kenny, if you're listening out there, make that happen. Okay. So cool. Yeah, let's go. So question 2, Adele, they call you up and say, hey, we're going to have you do a local prairie fire or something, kind of like a local celeb. We want you to be there, kind of show the kids the ropes. You get there and say, hey, by the way, you can't race it in your typical Hokas or whatever you wear. You have to put on one of these 2 things to do your race. You can do the 10K. We'll say it's an easy one. You have to be wearing clown shoes or cleats while you run this 10K. Which one are you going with?
Clown shoes.
Oh, dang, I had the cleats. Dane, how about you, man?
Yeah, I had cleats. You could dig in maybe if you need to get an extra some speed.
I got you.
Really goofy.
I
and
got you.
Clown in itself. Yeah, I think everybody would know that I would pick the clown shoes.
I got you. That'd be kind of cool. Can you see it like on TV? Is it like you're running right there and doing your little thing? That's awesome.
And
I dig it.
Because they're so big, I fall a lot, so it would be, that's just me.
There you go. There's just a TikTok in there somewhere waiting to happen, right? Let's go.
There you go.
So question three, Dale. I'm 2 for 2. Dane, did you have that one? Did you have clown or
No, I got cleats on that one.
Got you.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I did
Love
play
it.
something. My kids are really, I'll have to try that out. I'm gonna try and run with them.
Let's go. I love it. Let me know how it goes. Send us a video. So question 3, again, a lot of questions with local and like sponsorships and all that. So obviously Hawk is great. I love what they do for you, but you get called up in these 2 local restaurants say, hey, no disrespect to Con, if you love it, but these 2 restaurants want to sponsor you. It says, hey, we'll give you a lifetime supply of our food as long as you wear it on your bib. And by the way, just got to get a tattoo of us on your face. That's all. And you get lifetime food. Okay. So your 2 choices you can go with to get lifetime supply. You can get Red Robin, little tattoo right there, Post Malone style on the face, Red Robin, or a lifetime supply of Pronto Pups as long as you get the tattoo. Which one are you going with?
Red Robin.
Let's go. Yum.
Yeah, like the song is like catchy. Red Robin, yum.
Can you imagine though, a lifetime supply, just walk in, hey, let me get some fries, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a local.
Oh
so.
man.
Did you have that one there?
No, I was going with the Pronto Puffs.
Okay.
I'm going a completely different direction this time for whatever reason.
I got you. So here's a twist. So on this one, you're called up to race one of these 2 celebrities. Okay. You're called to race them. Okay. Now here's the thing. No matter what, the race has to last an hour. No matter what, even if they beat you or you beat them, you have to keep running for an hour. Okay. So here's your thing. You can go into this race and line up against the Flash. DC, the Flash, right? Okay. Or you can race against Flash from Zootopia. The sloth that kind of does this little thing right here and all that. So you got to basically pace them for an hour. So you're thinking about either going as fast as the Flash because you got powers, or you got to race against Flash from Zootopia. Who are you going to race against?
Zootopia.
Let's go, Dan. Do you have that one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can eat the whole time.
Yeah.
Replenish those calories.
Got you. Good. So I'm actually 4 for 4. So I'm beating Dane. This might be your chance to time me, Dane. This last one. Okay. So last rapid fire, Adele. There's a new invention being made where pretty much you can power a vehicle by just running on a treadmill the entire time. You can power this vehicle. Okay. And they say, hey, we'd like you to be a part of our expedition. There's 2 things that are going to happen. You can go on this journey, basically take a treadmill tank into a volcano. So you're the one who got a treadmill to keep going, or you can take your treadmill experience as you get launched into space. Treadmill inside a volcano or treadmill into space. Which one are you going with?
Space for sure.
Oh, dang it. I had the volcano. Yeah. Dang. How about you?
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Everybody you have to go to space.
No, man. It terrifies me, man. I ain't getting up there. My mask breaking, dude. Forget that. Let's go.
My eyebrows would break. My hair, everything would. That's.
Yeah.
It's way to go.
There you go.
You can set that up for me.
Let's go. Can you imagine that though? Like it's like one small step for man. You're just sitting there and Adele's just taking it. You're just like on the back of a treadmill, just getting after it. That'd be awesome. So
I'll be on a treadmill.
Yeah, you got to be on. You're powering it. You're the one powering the treadmill. So
a really nice treadmill, like a really nice.
Like a Peloton or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go. Well, Adele, thank you again for that. That's a little segment we do called Rapid. Hopefully in interviews you've done and things in the past. It's something a little different.
That part, because sometimes I cuss a lot and I know I shouldn't be. I was worried about keeping it PG.
Oh, you're good.
I didn't cuss.
Oh, you're all good. There's even for that it's all good. So the last segment, I'll give it back to you, Dane, if you want to kind of take it from there on that next thing.
Yep. Adele, this is a segment we called an open mic. We open up our floor to our guests to maybe tell some of our younger listeners and viewers, and I mean, even me, maybe a word or 2 of wisdom that you've kind of carried, maybe a mantra or a philosophy that you carried through your career of being the great runner that you are. Is there something maybe a few words of inspiration to tell some of those viewers that are watching and listening tonight?
Absolutely. Whenever I'm helping someone train, I always say, if I'm going to help you, you need to get 2 things. You need to do 2 things very religiously. Foam rolling. Get a foam roller. Foam rolling is very important, and stretching and just foam rolling. Foam roll your calves, your quads. A lot of people get plantar fasciitis. It's because you got tight quads or tight calves. And I'm always telling people, just foam roll your calves and your feet will be fine. Because a lot of people go in with that. How they have knee pain. If you have knee pain, it's because your quads are tight. So your quads and your calves. And I always say, get a handheld water bottle and always run handheld water. So that, and then the most importantly is believe in yourself. Oh my gosh, believe in yourself. That
I
is
love
like,
that.
but just believe in yourself. Every race, every 100 I do, yeah, I'll get like negative thoughts, but I always picture myself like crossing the finish line. Like believe in yourself, and helps to believe in other people. Like when I'm helping someone train, like I know you got this. I truly believe in you. Like believe in other people. So they just need that one person that believes in them. So be that.
Wow.
You know, me and Dane say this, Adele, and this is a factual thing. We don't get speeches very often. We really don't. I could talk 24/7, and I hear your motto of like what I've noticed every time you go for a run or a race. Everybody that's doing it is a human just like you. We talk a lot about ordinary people, with all respect, doing extraordinary things. That's what this is all about. And when we
Yeah.
started this show, we said we made a promise for three things. We want to showcase strong female leaders and also give back to somebody in Wichita. And what you're doing, what I heard, as much as all these accomplishments, and you got a shelf full of victories. You're more worried about helping somebody else, and that's Dane. We talk about osmosis and the next generation all the time, don't we, Dane? About the next generation.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's carrying that and being willing to pass that torch on to somebody else. I mean, and that's the whole point of doing something. You know, you all the gifts that you have aren't yours to keep. You know, you just pass them on to the next person.
I'd almost say, Dale, you're lighting the torch for others. Like you're lighting it as you continue to carry the torch yourself. You're lighting the torch for those to follow you, and that's got to be a good feeling. Wow. So
it is, yes, especially when they finish a race. Now I'm all about helping people pace them at 100, help them. It's fun for me to give back that way and see other people flourish and crush their dreams and realize that you just got to believe in yourself and keep going. Don't give up. Just
well, it is a piece of inspiration. Again, from those listening out there, from France to Finland to here in Kansas, let it be known that Adele, this is a bucket list for us. Thank you for making the time to do this. Please let it be the first of many.
That's so cool. I really appreciate it. It's made my year. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Adele, let it be the. We definitely will come see you. Maybe we can have like a live on the spot interview with you or something. You know what I mean? So
there you go.
Be kind of cool. But let it be the first of many, Adele. Please make this a returning thing. We've got many more that we might need your expert analysis, and we'll keep you in the loop with Courtney, of course. Let's stay in touch, and we'll get this out very soon. And again, thank you for inspiring us and taking time to do this. Okay, so
thank you guys, you're the best. Thank you.
Of course, have a great day.
Thank you,
too, guys.
Take care. You too, friend. So, Dane, I'm telling you, man, I told you inspiring. It doesn't get much more inspiring than that, does it?
No, I mean, it's what she's going through to do the things that she's doing. I mean, you can't put it into words how inspiring that is. And you want to tell her story, you know, even more than her. You know, I mean, you say, hey, I got to talk to this person and this is what their story is, because I'm now more excited to tell her story than I was even before we talked to her. And that's what great people do to you. They inspire you and they make you more excited because you know them. So,
well, they always say that, when we spoke about lighting the torch, great people usually go through something difficult. That's how they become great. You don't, I say we kind of adapted our motto a little bit along with osmosis, ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and her getting out of bed. I would say anybody that's like, in her situation, just getting out of bed and doing menial tasks, that's one thing. Congrats for that. And then also, hey, I'm going to go do a hundo today. Okay. That's a whole other level of person right there, So
yeah. I mean, it's just not even being fully physically fit and, having a sound body. That's even a tough thing. I mean, you can't just jump into that. You have to prepare. I mean, not only body, but mind, soul, everything. Wow. And to add that onto it, that she's able to do that and have all that trophy case is a testament to how hard she's willing to work and how much perseverance she has. And you can't help but tell somebody
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah, I told you, Dane, this is closing on episode 200. This
Yeah.
is the most we've dealt with rock stars, musicians,
Mhm.
radio personalities, TV people, DJs and all that. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, there's something about this one. It was like, this represent
Yeah.
our hometown and represent for those that I don't think there's anybody that can say they have an excuse. Again, let me clarify. If you're able to do it, even if
Yeah.
it's hard, if you can't, that's fine. Let me clarify that. But if you're able to get up and do it, even if it's
Yeah.
hard, go do it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's fantastic, man. So,
Yeah.
Adele, what an inspiration to all of us. I
Yeah.
definitely know
Yeah.
I'll be getting my rear up in the morning, Danny, going running. That's for
Yeah.
sure. So
I was going to
yeah,
say, whatever you can't help but be thankful that, there's somebody like that you can talk to and
yeah.
look at and, follow.
Yeah. Well, guys, we'll direct you to her page. She's got a lot of people that
Yeah.
really look up to her. Now she's made two more fans out of us, that's for
Yeah.
sure. So we'll get this out as
Absolutely.
soon as we can. And that's just kicks off the season. I've been calling it, Dane, the November to Remember is what we've kind of came up with for this
Oh,
month.
there we go.
We've got a November to Remember. We start off with Adele. We wanted it to be her intentionally the first one of the month. And then we have after that, tonight we've got our friend Alden, a Abilene Kansan, with our guest host, our friend Josh
Yeah.
Trevino. Tomorrow, Dane, we've got a few more inspirations for you. We've got Iron Will stopping by. Talk about another inspiration. I'll let him tell you that story. And then we've also got our friend, the Injured Beast, stopping by tomorrow night, Dane. Going to be a heck of a night.
Oh, yeah.
And we also just locked in during the interview, that we're getting our friend Lizette Salas, a PGA golfer, pro female golfer. That's going to be fun. So a lot of good things coming up in November.
Yep.
Many more to come, but we'll take a breather and I'm going to go run a lap, Dane, to kind of calm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget, as always, that we love you. And Dane,
Thank you for listening.